Welcome back to week 6 of our draft league. Today we've got Ai facing off Nagi, two trainers with very different play styles from the look of their team. Ai brings a signature Sun team, while Nagi has a very flexible, pivot heavy counter team designed to deal exactly with that kind of opponent. Let's take a closer look at how their teams stack up. Ai's team consists of Heatran, Venusaur, Torkoal, Frostmoth, Tinkaton and Palossand. It's a true Sun team through and through. Torkoal sets weather and supports Venusaur, who becomes a terrifying sweeper with Chlorophyll. Heatran offers both offensive and defensive values, especially in punishing Nagi's physical attackers, while Tinkaton provides hazard control and stealth rock support with maybe Air Balloon, helping it survive the obvious ground move against Heatran. Frostmoth gives Ai a late game setup option with Quiver Dance, and Palossand serves as a main physical wall from what I see, but it can also be a backup win condition against Sneasler and Raging Bolt. Nagi's team has Raging Bolt, Gliscor, Low Kicks, Pokemon Wellspring, Sneasler and Ribombee. This team thrives on momentum. Raging Bolt's combination of Volt Switch and massive special attack keeps pressure up against Ai, while Gliscor's Poison Heal and Protect Scouting create an almost endless defensive pivot. Low Kicks and Sneasler both threaten immediate revenge potential, especially with Low Kicks having Terra Bug with First Impression. Ogerpon Wellspring is very good into the fire and ground parts of Ai's team, and Ribombee adds a quick entry hazard in Sticky Web or has the screen option to protect Nagi's team for incoming damage. Some key things to look out for in this match are definitely that both teams benefit from Sun. Torkoal obviously powers up Venusaur, but it also activates Raging Bolt's Photosynthesis boost, so managing when to get out the Sun is very crucial for Ai. Poison Heal Gliscor can stall out most of Ai's hits, deny Frostmoth's setup, and it can even pivot safely into Nagi's other Pokemon. If Ai can chip Gliscor early, her special attackers have a much easier time sweeping in this match. Also, Low Kick's First Impression and potential Terra Bug make it one of the best immediate answer to boosted Frostmoth, so Ai has to choose her setup timing carefully or she risks losing Frostmoth instantly. I think Palossand is slept on in this matchup because with weakness policy it could completely swing the momentum of the game. If it absorbs a super effective hit, it dishes out so much damage while being very defensive. And the last thing I think about is hazard control, because while Tinkaton and Heatran can get up Stealth Rocks, Nagi's team can get up Sticky Web, Spikes, Stealth Rock and Toxic Spikes. Whoever controls hazards controls how freely each side can enter the battlefield. Both Ai and Nagi have shown flashes of strong planning throughout the season, Ai with creative setups and Nagi with positioning and counterplay. So I think this one's going to be an all about momentum management and adaptation match. Basically, who keeps their win conditions healthy long enough to win. Let's get right into battle and see how it plays out. Ai leads with Tinkaton and Nagi leads very aggressive with Raging Bolt. Raging Bolt is very good into pretty much every Pokemon on Ai's team except for Palossand. We see the fast Volt Switch doing over 50% on Tinkaton, which is massive. She goes into Gliscor immediately, pressuring Ai to get out of here. Ai set up Stealth Rock. Earthquake gets rid of Tinkaton, and that's the first mon down in the second turn. Ai immediately goes into Frostmoth. Does she click Quiver Dance? She goes for Quiver Dance, but as we see, Low Kicks comes in and Low Kicks pressures Frostmoth immensely with the Terra Bug First Impression. Ai goes into Torkoal here. I think physically defensive Heatran would have been the best option because of the ability Flame Body. Burning low kicks would have been huge here. We see Terra Bug. First impression does 50%, 49 in this case. Low kicks obviously wants to get out, but Raging Bolt gets the photosynthesis boost, and even if it ends up getting burned, it doesn't really matter because it's a special attacker. And from here on out... Okay, Nagi doesn't want to stay in. I wanted to say from here on out the game is pretty much decided because Raging Bolt is so strong. Nagi gets out into low kicks again, playing it very safely. Even if we see Quividence here, she can go for first impression. And every time she does huge amounts of damage to everything on Ai's team. She decides to go for the pivot. U-turn does a lot of damage with Terra boosted stab. And even if I would have boosted with Quividence here, Nagi could have just gone into Raging Bolt and click Thunderclap. Gliscor is Nagi's answer to Venusaur, probably because it has dual wing beat. I doesn't stay in, predicts the Earthquake, I guess, which Frostmoth resists. We see dual wing beat, and that's a dead Frostmoth. That's Ai's Wincon down. Heatran comes out now. Double switches into Torkoal. Torkoal catches the Earthquake, and Ai only has one turn of Sun left. Another Earthquake. That's Ai's Sunsetter down. Palisand comes out. Way too late. Nagi protects to scout what Palisand wants to do. She sees the Shadow Ball, and Raging Bolt is very safe into Shadow Ball. Ai switches out into Heatran, predicting the Draco Meteor probably. Heatran catches the Draco Meteor, getting it by 50%, so it's able to hit another Draco Meteor. Nagi switches into Gliscor, predicting the Earthquake, the Earth Power here. And this is a free turn for Nagi to do everything she wants. She goes for Earthquake because it's very safe for her to do. There's not much that Palisand can do, since even if Shadow Ball does damage, Nagi can just heal back up with Toxic and protect to skip a turn to heal even more. She keeps clicking Earthquake here. It's the safest move. And unless she gets the special defense drop, which she does here, she's fine. She should go for Protect now. She doesn't. She goes for the offensive option of clicking Earthquake. And with Ai using Shore Up to heal, this just gives Nagi more turns to heal with her Poison Heal. She goes for the double Protect and actually gets it, which brings her back to 99% HP. She has the Ice Fang in the back. We do see Weakness Policy. And as I said, Shadow Ball does way more damage because it's obviously boosted by +2. So the way Weakness Policy works is if the Pokemon holding Weakness Policy gets hit by a super effective move, its physical and special attack get raised by 2 stages. However, Palisand doesn't lift the Draco Meteor from Raging Bolt, and Heatran has a free turn here. However, Heatran is probably not able to kill Sneasler. Earth Power is not enough. White Herb is used, and with that, Sneasler is faster than everything on Ice Team. Close Combat doesn't kill Venusaur, however, since Sneasler is that fast, it doesn't have to worry about its minus defense stats. That's another close combat, and that's a dead Heatran. And with that, Nagi won this match. There was a very solid performance from Nagi, who handled this match with a very safe playstyle and a clear plan from start to finish. From turn 1, you could see that Nagi was able to apply pressure with Raging Bolt and Gliscor until Ai's defensive Pokemon began to crumble, and that gave Nagi the opportunity to let her offensive Pokemon clean up. The Volt switch into Gliscor right at the start completely defused Ai's setup lead, popping Tinkaton's air balloon and doing over 50% to it. I tried to find her opening through Frostmoth's Quiver Dance, but Low-Kick's Terrabug first impression shut that window down every time. And while Palossand's weakness policy moment was great, Raging Bolt answered right away with Draco Meteor, which put Nagi back in control of the match. For Ai losing Tinkaton so early and being basically forced to go out into Frostmoth so soon made it very difficult for her to come back in this match. I gotta say, the creativity in the set choices, especially Palossand, was very good, but it wasn't nearly enough to turn around the match. Going forward, I can definitely build on this by maybe finding safer early turns, preserving her hazard setter, and setting up once those revenge tools like low kicks are out of the picture. For Nagi, this was a showcase of clean, controlled play. Everything was very safe, every switch had a purpose, and the way she played was spot on. That wraps up the battle between Ai and Nagi here in Week 6. Nagi's game plan worked perfectly and I had some very creative sets. That wraps up the battle between Ai and Nagi here in Week 6 of the VTuber Pokémon League, with lessons learned on both sides, I hope. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next matches.